Friends, hello. What's up? We're back at it today. Tonight. Let's let me turn on the lights. There we go. A little easier to see now. All right, we're doing some game development tonight a little bit, and then I might do some more Silent Hill, but I did want to do some development, and you can hear me. Okay, good. Let me just post in the Discord real quick about what we're doing. All right, let's see. Just went live. So we're gonna be working on hold on, let me just write it and then I'll say it. Okay, so what am I up to today? Well, we're gonna try to wrap up the demo for next week's Retro Games Gone convention. And well, we're almost there. There's just a few things that I wanna do. This demo isn't going to be very different from the demo that I showcased at Anime New York City. But there are some improvements, and some of the things I got back as feedback I'd like to work out. I think my camera's a little off right now. Oh, Zelda. Never has enough attention. I know. Zelda. All right, I have to give her attention. She's just never gonna stop. She sits here all day, every day, and I pet her throughout the day. But the moment I start talking, she's like, this is my time. So we just gotta get this out of the way. Gotta get it out of the way early. Even though she's still not gonna be satisfied after. But she's not going to leave me alone either until I do. Is that enough? Oh, what a ham. My honey spiraled ham. Okay, Zelda. That's been enough, okay? Like, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Okay, Zelda. Alright. So we can let's do some to-do listing. Retro Game Con. Oh, no with the claws, okay? Demo to do. She's getting a lot better at reaching over and grabbing me now too. Oh man. Okay, so here's what some things we can do are replace the song at the end. song in final sequence. So the song that I was using in the final sequence was a placeholder. We have our own now, so I want to put that in there. Raise camera up during combat. So another thing that people were commenting on is that they thought it would be a little better if the camera was raised out a bit during combat, and that's something I agree with too. I think that it's cool to use the closer camera during sequences where we're in dialogue or just exploring a level, but when it comes to combat, I actually think that maybe we should have it so most of the level is in view of the camera at all times. And so we're gonna try a little bit of that. Oh, we got the big one, the other big one. Hello, Zoe. She just came up to make biscuits. She doesn't require much in life, so I do think she wants a little head pets. She deserves them too. Zelda does too. It's just she's already had so many. She gets them all day long. She gets hers. She just thinks that it's my full-time job. Okay. All right. I need to set up the chat and everything. About chat. Okay. All right. All right. So raising the camera out, that's another thing. Is that it? Because we set up the sound effects. You know what? It might just be best to give it a play. Oh, you know what? Another thing is reword attack tutorial. I had another way of phrasing it that I thought of the other day that I think can maybe help people from misunderstanding how to attack in the game. And then speaking of tutorials, there were some other things that I might want to get to. I'm remembering now. Second zone force weapon change. That's something that not everyone was really understanding, the weapon change aspect of the game. And so I was thinking of really just forcing them into it and seeing what that turns into. I'm not really sure it's going to be a good change or not until it's in. But let's just try this now. I'm going to have the sound on for this. If we can get all this stuff done early today, then we can play some Silent Hill after. All right, already something is very, very wrong. We're in the wrong biome. Okay, so this is a change that I made recently, and this is why it's important to be testing like this before the convention, because there's other small things that I do that feels like I have a it feels like they're contained changes, but when it comes down to it, they're not. They affect something in some other place of the game that I wouldn't expect. And it's crazy because even here we can see that the biome isn't wrong, which is very strange. So let's try to start this zone from here and see how that works. That can help us narrow down what's really going on. Okay, here it is fine. So let's write that down as a bug for right now. Clug biome from main menu, and we're actually gonna raise that one all the way up. Yep, at the top. Because that one is actually kind of a big deal. That is a huge deal. All right, so that was a little interesting thing. I don't think I've ever done that. Oh, one other thing here. They're all coming back to me now. Fix boss falls through world. That is a bug that I don't know how to actually reproduce. I'm not sure if I can, but I do need to put some sort of script in there to catch it if it happens. I can force the issue. I just can't naturally reproduce it. And I'll go more into it later on when we tackle it. The other thing is a fix bug in fourth zone where Auric doesn't move after dialogue. That was another strange bug. I can't type. It was another strange bug that was happening every once in a while. For the most part, there wasn't many bugs in for the most part, there wasn't many bugs in the entirety of the showcase in Anime New York City. You know, we probably had 500 people playing it, and these bugs that I'm mentioning happened maybe 3 times between all of those people. So let's check out the rest here. I think I'm remembering everything now, but we're still gonna play it just to be sure, because we never can really be too sure. Okay, music's okay. We got the new sound effects. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play with controller, since that's what the convention is going to be using. And I'm going to restart so we can see that from the start. Oh, so restart does it too. All right, from main menu and restart. I'm glad I hit restart. Oh, okay. I'm glad I did this too, because I actually changed I changed some button inputs, and I don't think I want to make it this way just yet. So I'm actually going to stop it and fix that right now. So I was dabbling with putting some different buttons on, some different actions on different buttons on the controller. And I think that they're good changes for the game, but they're not necessarily good changes for a convention, for people who don't know how to use a controller, which might mean that they're not very good changes for the game either. I'm not really sure. It might be that I make a setting in the settings where you can change it to those if you'd like. But for now, I don't think that they're good for the convention. So one is the sheet. Okay, so we're going to open our rewired here and check out combat. And we have dash, which should be LB, so right shoulder 1. And then wait. No, right shoulder 1, and then shield should be left shoulder 1. Okay. And that saves automatically. All right, let's start this again now. Okay, much better. I'm not sure I really like that button icon, but it was working at the last convention. So if 500 people can figure it out, then the next 500 people can. Oh, there's actually something that I know I need to do. All right, so here's where I want to change the text a little. And I think I'm going to just say hold R in any direction to fire continuously, not automatically, because I think people were getting confused by that. I might make this less wordy too by just saying pick up chunks of defeated enemies to prevent them from respawning. I might just say that. Maybe I don't need. See, there's something wrong with the wall, maybe. We're gonna take a closer look when we can. Oh, interesting. I don't know if the blood siphon sound effect was working. I should confirm that. But there's another thing here. Fix lava wall platform. I actually gotta, well, whatever. So that camera wasn't too bad, but here you can see the bottom of these platforms are a little off. They don't line up with the, I don't understand what happened there, but that's got to get fixed. All right. Oh, another thing we can do is prevent weapon swapping before tutorial. And then we also prevent update controller guide to say that abilities are locked until their tutorial. I might say that too, because that was also another thing that was, I think, maybe confusing people, is we can open this up. So I think maybe just some text in the corner. So here's where I think I might want to lock that in, force the player to do that. think the camera could be a little further out in this part, a little steeper. Alright, I'm gonna hear this to see if this works. Okay, no, the sound effect is there. Never mind. Okay, but there is one other thing to disallow trigger to attack. I think that blood noise can go up though. Blood siphon noise up. Oh man, started with thinking there's only 2 things and now we've got a really big list going here. Been a little lazy on working the development of the game in the last month, but been doing a lot of other good things though, so it all evens out. Oops. I could make it so that the triggers change the weapons too. That might be a good change. Well, I also wonder if I should lower the boss's health by just a little bit. I don't know. They seem to be fine at the other convention, so maybe I shouldn't try to change anything that doesn't need to be fixed. It is a little long, but no one was like giving up. And I think especially the health bar helps to keep the person going. Cool. So this part here, there was a bug that happened like 3 times at the convention. So 3 out of 500 times, where after this dialogue, he's supposed to move, he's supposed to follow the divoid, but he doesn't. He just stays there. And I don't know if it's they were holding the stick while moving, or while entering the zone or what, but we're gonna have to figure that out. I just held the stick entering this in here so we can see if this does it. Nope. Oh hey, Yulia, if I'm saying that right. My eyes are no good. Yulia. But yeah, no, this is my game. It's all Unity, and thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been working on it for a few years, and I do you know, day to day it's just me, but I do hire out some things to some people, and but you know, day to day it's just me, and so the development is a little slow, but I've been getting there little by little. And I had a convention last month where I got to showcase the game to like a ton of people, and I've got another showcase next week. So kind of taking the feedback that I got from that showcase and trying to improve on it now before I have time. Okay, this part was funny because I take away the instructions to move the egg, and everyone at the convention was like thinking that like it still mattered, but really what it is it triggers a cutscene, but I still let the player able to control it afterwards. But really it's a cutscene to end the demo. I just thought it was kind of like a playful thing, because everyone's like trying to do it, but then it gets taken away from them, and then, you know, it ends. few years, that's okay, that makes sense why you're on Unity. This was before the controversy. Yeah, I mean, I mean, in terms of the controversy, I mean, it is unfortunate. You know, I'm glad that they fixed it, but the way I see it is all these companies would pull those kind of things one way or another, given the opportunity or the time. So I mean, yeah, at the time there was no controversies, but at this point I feel like no one really cares anymore about what Unity did, and who's to say Unreal or Godot isn't gonna do something again or something like that eventually too. So but yeah, no, I've been working on this for a while. I mean, it's probably I'm actually into 4 years, so but yeah, I mean, it's what I'm familiar with now, and yeah, there's no going back, and I've got no regrets really with it either. I felt like it was, for what I'm making, it's a good engine that's not too I don't know, that Unreal I think was a little intimidating to me when I first went in, and to be honest, I didn't even know Godot was a real thing at that point, and because I started using Unity probably like 6-7 years ago, and yeah, it's just it's what I know to use now, and it does pretty much everything I need it to. There's some things I would wish were maybe a little better, but nothing too critical. All right, so yeah, you're good, but yeah, unfortunately, no one will trust them again for new projects until Godot mid license, like completely license free. I need to look that up again. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that Unity did fix all that. I think even kind of recently, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what I'm gonna do after this, because I still have a couple of years on this game. There's still a lot more. I have a lot here, but there's a lot more that I still want to do, and you know, I don't have any funding. I don't have a publisher or anything. It's really just me working a day job and funding it as I go, and spending the time on it as I go. And I've really got nothing really pushing me to a deadline, other than, you know, wanting to get it done, because I would like to have it done, but I'm not going to sacrifice that for making the game exactly what I want it to be. So there's definitely still a lot more to go, and so I'm not even thinking about any kind of other engines or anything like that right now. All right, so we have our list of stuff. Did I say, no, I didn't write in the swap weapons with triggers. Okay, that's something I can do right now. You don't go. You need to learn their lesson. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, just taking a look around at any. I mean, look at Microsoft. I feel like what they just recently did with Game Pass was like a huge mistake because everyone is pushing back. But for the past 10 years, they've been like, everybody's kind of been glazing them about how great of a value that Game Pass is. And I've always loved Game Pass, and when they went from like $10 to $20, it's like, okay. And then now again, not even that long after, it's like $30 now. It's like, okay, like I mean, it's just any company is going to do that once they get their market share, right? And so to be completely honest, I don't trust any of these companies to do anything that's right for the consumer. It's just what can they get away with, right? And Unity felt like they were in a position to get away with something. It just, they were wrong. So, and the whole Microsoft thing here, I mean, that's Microsoft, so they are they probably are going to get away with it, just like the same way Netflix got away with raising their prices. I mean, yeah, we all saw the price rise in price. That's always the strategy. The money to attract customers, then try to stop the bleeding. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think that it does seem though that monetizing in the game industry is kind of a problem right now, where they're not super sure how to do it in a sustainable way. There's some studios that just aren't making any money at all, and especially in the AAA, they're really, really struggling right now. And so I don't think they were making money, to be fair. No, they probably weren't. I mean, personally, I don't care about a $30 Game Pass. Like, I'm an adult. $30 is like, I mean, the price of everything's skyrocketing, right? So it's like, I don't know, $30, that's like a couple meals. Like, obviously, you don't want to spend that, you don't want to spend money you don't have to, right? But I just feel like everything is going up. So it's not like outrageous to me, but at the same time, obviously I'm not happy about paying more for something that I was already paying less for. Too crazy. What's going on? Welcome back. I remember you hanging out here before. So yeah, I don't know. It's just because I, like, as a game developer myself, it's like I get a little worried too in terms of like what the current climate is for releasing games, because like, I've been working on this game for 4 years and I have another couple years ahead of me. And it's just like, am I going to spend my life in this game and nobody's going to buy it, or no one's going to play it or enjoy it? And the thing is like, I've gone into this, making this game with that expectation, cause if I'm trying to do this for anything other than making the game I want to make and enjoy it and learn from it and just make a journey out of it, then I'm gonna get hit hard. You know what I mean? I can't take like doing all this and releasing a game and it going nowhere and being like shattered by it. So I've always kept this like stance that's like, well, I'm going to assume no one's going to want to pay money for this. No one's going to want to play it. But I am still like hoping that, people do, because I would like to sustain this, Too crazy. I think I'm going to give up on web dev. Oh, why is that? The only thing I'll say with that, and it's kind of like what I was just saying, what is your expectations going into it? If it's something you're enjoying doing, then I don't think that should ever be something that you should give up on. If it's something you really enjoy. Now, if it's something you don't enjoy, you're having a miserable time with it and you like to do something else, or even something, parallel in you know, the whole tech industry, you know, okay, fair enough. But, and also, you know, but I mean, if it's something where you feel like you're not getting back the return that you're expecting, then it's like, well, and that's what I was getting back to what my perspective on things is sometimes you got to look at, well, what is your expectation on that return? Have you set that expectation too high? Because if you do set that expectation too high, like for instance, I'm gonna make a game all by myself and it's gonna sell millions of copies and I'm gonna be a millionaire and I'm gonna be the next Eric Barone and I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna be the next Notch, you know, like you know, that kind of stuff. I know I cannot have any of those kind of thoughts in my head, right? Because one, I don't actually believe that, and two, it's like dangerous to believe that because the higher you set your sights, then the higher you're going to fall when you don't meet them. And maybe what you've done is already like incredibly impressive and incredibly successful, but you set your sights so high that you still feel like a failure because of it, right? So I'm just, you know, for what I do, I just try to set it low and then just enjoy my time doing it, because that's the only way that you're gonna like have like a bulletproof way of pushing forward. You know, I've been working on this for 4 years, and you know, I keep up with it, and that is the pet that cat. Let's say Yulia, you say AAA deserves it. A hyper realistic, over the shoulder camera, walking sim with no innovative mechanics, while my 4090 is running 340 watts and half asleep from the gameplay. Yeah. I mean, I've got no hate for certain genres of games, and you know, everyone enjoys different kinds of games, and I think it's cool when studios try to go against what's most popular. But I mean, you have to consider though what the what your audience is and what they're, and like what the demand for something like that really is. Like there's going to be risks taken, right? But I don't know, I think games, too much money are being put into games. Like I feel like no game should really be over, you know, should be tens of millions to hundreds of millions of dollars to make. I don't know, maybe, you know, like games like GTA 6, I guess I can see that being the case, but I don't know. I mean, even then, that's going to be a massive risk for them. But if you look at what Expedition 33 has done with their $33 million budget, or I don't even know, whatever that is, it's an incredible game for a fraction of what a lot of games are taking to make. Exactly, playing it too safe at this point would be close your studio, aka Dragon Age Valguard. Yeah, man, I was Dragon Age has lost the plot for me a long time ago. I mean, Dragon Age Origins is one of my favorite games of all time. And I still play that. I played through it last year, or even this year, maybe. I don't know. I still love that game very much. And 2's okay, and I never played any ones after that because 2 is like such a departure. It just felt like everything else was continuing to departure. Not to say that no one else enjoys those games, but it does seem like maybe, I don't know. I don't know the numbers. So I really can't like have that much of an opinion on it. But there is a lot of shade being thrown at Valguard, for sure. But who knows? And that's the thing, when the industry starts doing this stuff like subscriptions and like, you know what I mean? Like, cause then it's no longer about sales anymore. It's about, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Like the business model is hard to understand from someone from the outside, you know, because it's not truly just about who's picking your game off the shelf and paying for it at the register. There's all these other factors involved now. And for me as a game dev, that's kind of scary. And that's what I was getting at before, where I wonder, it's just like, well, by the time I release this game, what is the industry even going to be like, you know? what is, what is this industry going to be like in terms of, am I even going to be able to release it as a single game, or do I have to expect to just like have this this game that's only ever going to be on a subscription service, and whatever those deals look like, right? I just have no idea what to expect in a few years where gaming is going to be. But honestly, I think this whole shift, like Game Pass getting, being getting an upcharge, I do wonder if it's going to cause people to start buying games again. And to me, that's a good thing. I think it's cool to buy games, but at the same time, buying games that you don't own, that's also another problem, right? So I don't know. I'm just yapping right now. All right, Zelda, you've been pet. Oh, my eyes are failing me today. Origins, yeah, nothing else comes close. Agreed. Appeal to everyone until it appeals to no one. Yeah, yep, that does happen, doesn't it? And that's why I say that I'm not against people trying to do new, unique things, taking risks, because I don't know, that's when cool things are made. And the Backlash COD Black Ops 7 is so satisfying. Finally, even the brain rot Zoomers are catching up to the COD problem we realized since 2014. The funny thing is I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I haven't played a COD game since, and then maybe this is even what you're referring to about, someone my age is, I haven't played a COD game since Modern Warfare 2. And I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original Modern Warfare 2. And I remember even that one being like, oh, this is just more of the same. Okay. And then I never played one again. And I barely played that one. I played Modern Warfare, and that was cool. And I played 3 Call of Duty 3. I remember enjoying that. Call of Duty 2. I remember enjoying that. But yeah, I never even played a military shooter again after that, because I just felt like so burned out by it. But also, I'm not like really a competitive multiplayer type gamer. So I'm definitely not the audience for those games anymore. So I don't even know what kind of backlash stuff is happening with that. I don't really pay too much attention anymore. It's all just, I don't know. It's not normally my type of entertainment. So am I now the Zoomers? We are having that fatigue too. This time it's so bad that Activision had to respond to that for the first time in the studio's history. Oh, what is it? Just like repeating the formula? Like people like upset about it? Zelda, I just pet you for 5 minutes. You gotta chill out. And I've been petting you all day, by the way. I've been petting you all day long. Every day. For as long as I've had you. Which has been 10 years, by the way, Zelda. You've had 10 years of daily pets all day long. I gotta work. Zelda. Yeah. I'm sorry, but you gotta wait for the channel points to come through. Yeah, 90% dislike ratio, the lowest pre-order number in the franchise history. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. But I mean, who knows though? Because like you're saying, your generation is now starting to get fatigued. Well, then just funnel in the next generation. I don't know. That's probably how it works, right? Because I mean, I kind of missed the whole boat on this last. I mean, the last 10 years of games I've been in my own bubble with. Like, I like my single player games. I like my I don't know. I've never been like a big like battle royale. Like, I remember playing Fortnite when it first came out for like, I played like 4 or 5 games. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. and then I never played it again, and I've just not really had much interest since. Not my generation. I'm old. I haven't played COD since 2014 or something. Yeah. Now I feel that I'm feeling old too. Very, very old. All right, so I am going to undo the triggers on the controllers, and I'm going to make those the weapon swap. So left, where's there? Okay, this should be better. I don't know, I feel like the internet is kind of been like ruining games for me. I've been trying not to like look at people's opinions on the internet about video games anymore, because it just kind of ruins the fun of it, right? All I'm looking for is a bizarre indie game that like the upcoming Kingmaker, 6 days left. I can't wait. I've been hearing about that game. Oh, is this Pathfinder you're talking about? Or is this Kingmakers? You say Kingmakers? No. This isn't. Oh no, this is what you're talking about. Yeah, 6 days. No, I do know this game. Yeah, this game is goofy. I've definitely been interested in trying it out. I thought it was very interesting the way that from a technical standpoint, how they're rendering all of these characters, where they're basically just, I forget how he said it, but basically just shaders in the background, and until they actually make contact with anything, do they actually become anything. And in a way, I've even thought about maybe doing something like that in my game as well too, because I mean, that isn't a bad way to do it. No way this is going to run well. Yeah, I don't know. I also have a 4090. So, you know, we'll see. Yeah, there's actually a video out there of the developers talking about it. It's very interesting how they do it. Very smart, and so, you know, who knows, maybe, but it is a very, it's fun, you know. It clearly doesn't take itself seriously, right? And I've always liked games that don't take themselves too seriously. And yeah, I don't know if I care much about this like building placing stuff. Realistically, I'll probably play this game and kill a bunch of things. I'll probably play it for a couple hours and be like, oh, that was fun, and then I'll probably not play it again. But I don't, because it's almost like the game feels like it takes itself so, like it's when I say I like a game when it doesn't take itself seriously, this one almost feels like it's a little too much. But I don't know, we'll see. Oh yeah, the i9 14 gen. I think, is that the one I have? I know I've had issues with my I don't even remember. I don't even remember anymore. No, I have the 13. I have the 13 gen, but the 13 gen has definitely been a problem for me as well at times. And yeah, it's just I think it has to do with something to do with the multi-threading or the single core stuff. Like I know that there's certain games, like I remember Red Dead 2. I wasn't able to play until very, very recently because there was like some sort of bug that was only a 13th gen bug, and I think I figured out eventually. I had to like force it to only run on one core or something like that. Okay, so let's try that change out. Ah, okay. Voltage issue. Okay. Yeah, I remember yeah, I have been trying to keep up to date on my BIOS and everything because I have been aware that there was problems. I just never really took the time too much to look into them. Okay, I did not. Oh, did this? I wonder if... Okay, I definitely screwed something up because one of the directional buttons is still working. Let's just get this out of the way. I attached the pickup sound effect to be on beat with the music along with the other stuff. I think it's a pretty good change. I'm never buying new hardware ever again. That 4090 also has the power port voltage issue. They're pushing hardware way too much. Excuse me. Then it can handle without enough stress tests. Yeah, I actually haven't had a problem with my 4090. I'm not aware of that issue. But I've yeah, I haven't had it. Actually, I've been extremely happy with my I've been extremely happy with okay, yeah, this isn't right. Been extremely happy with my 4090, so much that I had literally no interest in doing any kind of upgrade in the 5000 series, and honestly, probably not even the 6000 series. I'm very happy with mine so far, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the issue you're referring to is. Okay, I did something wrong, so I'm gonna go fix that, what I did wrong, whatever that may be. I've just been blabbing and not paying attention to what I'm actually doing. Debug. Swap left arm, swap. Okay, yeah, I didn't change that. Swap. Oh, I did it on the wrong. That makes more sense now. Oh, swap right arm. Oh yeah, I really screwed it up. Okay. There we go. Yeah, for both of them, I have both of them for 2 years now, but I'm still paranoid about it. Yeah, I mean, mine, I haven't really had that much of a problem with my rig. I just kind of had it so before I used to do like custom water loop machines, and I would always like have problems with it because I don't know, just like I like the maintenance and all that stuff is just so annoying. So this rig was the one that I made that was like, I just want this one to just work. Like, so I didn't do anything too fancy with it. It is water cooled, but it's all closed loop, like what is it called, the all-in-one AIO? Yeah, I actually have one of the very few at the time it was one of the very few water cooled 4090s. How do I hold up? Oh, what did I just do? I gotta hit that again. Oh, I see. Why isn't the... Oh, okay, here we go. Jesus, being as annoying as possible.
RTX 4090 series. So if you're in the PC hardware and gaming space and you consume content and news pertaining to this kind of stuff, then you probably have heard about the infamous 12V PWR connector that was melting on a whole bunch of RTX 4090
Oh
series
yeah, I did hear about
there
this.
There was a ton of noise
problem.
made about it, and you know,
I never had it though.
Looked like they were affected. I think Gamers Nexus did a whole series of videos investigating to see what was the problem. At the end of it all, the consensus was that it was a mixture of things. One, that the connector, in my opinion, is just designed so poorly, and because of that, it leads to the second thing, which is user error. The problem stemmed from multiple factors: improper seating of connectors, users failing to fully insert it, tight cable bends near the connector, and poor contact between pins. These conditions created areas of high electrical resistance, causing extreme heat buildup at the contact points. The small pins used in the connectors were all...
So the other thing is I have a water-cooled 4090, and I don't know if that helped. It was the 4090 AIO. Yeah, here we go. It was a gigabyte, I think. Where is it? Hey Ahmed, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate that.
X0_Ahmed_0X just followed.
Yeah, this one here. So I've never had heating issues or anything like that with it. I've been very happy with mine. I kind of went all out with the intention that I wasn't going to build another PC for a long time. Okay, let's try that. Oh, what did you say? Ahmed, greetings. Thank you very much for the follow. That's very helpful for me in the channel. Let's see, 500 watt running in one port is still insane, but yeah, maybe the water cooled helped. Yeah, with yours, I don't have it water cooled though, but I was careful about how it's inserted. Okay. Hey, Yulia, thank you as well for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Y'all are the best. Okay, so I've fixed this here, and I made it so the attack buttons don't do anything. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's try this again. Yes. Yeah, the truth is I don't even really do much gaming anymore these days. I do a lot of game development, but I'm trying to do... Oh, there we go. That works now. Cool. Been trying to do more gaming again, just for the sake of taking breaks from game deving, because it's just running me thin. And then also just trying to get more different kind of content on Twitch. So I've been playing through Silent Hill F. I started that this week. I'm trying to do a full playthrough. Okay, cool. So now I can switch weapons with the trigger while holding the stick to fire continuously. What are my favorite games? Well, I have a bunch of favorite games that are in different categories where it's like hard for me to really rank which one is my true favorite. But I can say that Terraria, The Binding of Isaac, Resident Evil 7, The Outer Wilds, there's this other series that you may not be familiar with, but it's a trilogy. It's 999 and then Zero Escape and then time, or I don't even remember what the third one's called, but I think it's another Zero Escape. Yeah, it's like the Zero Escape trilogy. I think they ended up naming it eventually. That's another one of like my favorite games. So yeah, like it really depends on what kind of game we're talking about, because like, yeah, when it comes to, you know, horror, you know, Resident Evil 7 is amazing. When it comes to exploration and puzzle, you know, The Outer Wilds, amazing. You know, Terraria, like I can spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in that game if I let myself. The same with The Binding of Isaac. I think those games are like really up there, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. There's a handful of games that I'll say is my favorite game of all time, but I don't know. I mean, I'm a big Zelda fan too. I take a lot of inspiration from Zelda, and especially the Breath of the Wild. I just think that game really, I love those games, but I was originally a big fan of the top-down ones, so Link's Awakening and Oracle of Ages and Seasons, loved those games. I still play those. So I mean, overall though, a lot of single player games. In terms of what games inspire me to make this game, I mean, it'd be The Binding of Isaac, you know, Cult of the Lamb. Even though I started this game before the Cult of the Lamb was out, but definitely inspires me now. And I don't know, Enter the Gungeon, Hades, those kind of games, and Legend of Zelda. I mean, I'm kind of taking all of my inspirations and putting them all together for this game. Okay, let's get back to it. So, swap weapons with triggers. Boop. Let's increase the blood siphon noise. Okay, that'll be an easy one, because it was kind of quiet. Go to abilities, blood siphon. Is this the one we use, or is this probably the one we use? Or maybe not, because that doesn't even have. Oh, it's definitely this one. Okay, volume is. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, it's this one that I want. Okay, 0.3. Let's bump that up to 0.5, honestly, and see if that's too much. I've never played Nintendo games. Wow. Is there a reason for that, or just never had a Nintendo console? I grew up with a Game Boy Color, and that was like awesome. That was the only Nintendo console I had until I had the Wii, and that probably explains why I was never into Ocarina of Time too much, which a lot of people will say is their favorite Zelda game. I just never played it. I mean, I did play it. I played it in like my 20s. You know, I played it a little while ago. But as a kid, I didn't have an N64. See a little screen tearing there. I wonder if that would just be the editor. Definitely a lot of good Nintendo games out there, though. I definitely recommend them. All right, let's see if this makes this is louder. Honestly, I feel like it could be even a little louder than that. All right, so let's get back in there and adjust it to 0.7. Maybe that's a little too loud, but we'll see. Okay, let's hear it now. Oh, that was weird. Okay, that sounds good. Actually, real quick, how do I have this? Oh, I have the music kind of low, don't I? I gotta balance this a little better sometimes so it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, cool. All right. Another one down. Disallow triggers for attacks that came free with the other one. Oop. Update controller guide to say that abilities are locked until their tutorial. Sure. Let's do that. I don't even know where that thing is. In gameplay cameras, UI. There it is. Okay, so I might as well just put a text down. This is all one image, but I'm just going to Just gonna see if I can use text and do this the easy way. Not that updating the image wouldn't be easy, but okay, let's put that here. Actually, it might be easier because I don't want to have to worry about like weights and stuff. Actually, yeah, that's the I'm not gonna do this. I'm going to go into the image, and we're gonna do this in Photoshop. Okay. All right. Let's add text. Oh man, what is the... I don't know what text that is. Here we go. I'm gonna duplicate that and then move it here. Actually, let's put it right in the center. How do I say this? Input is locked until... how should I say this? Something like input is locked until some actions are locked until their tutorial. I don't like this. Maybe I should put it at the bottom. Wait a second. How does... Okay, no, I know. Like there. Oops, what did I just do? Oh no. Did I just lose that? Yes, I did. Okay, well. Some actions are... what else? How do I... Nope. What? Jeez. There maybe? Center. Can I... No. Can I underline or something, or bold? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's export as a PNG. Let's get the path to this, copy path. Oh, why do you have to be difficult? Nope. Not what I wanted. There we go. Might as well just overwrite it. Can I see? Ahmed says, "Can you see my message?" Yeah, I saw your message about the Nintendo game. Yeah, I'm not sure what. I guess I'm not sure which message you mean, but the last message I saw was you never playing Nintendo games, and I was wondering why that might be. Because there are a lot of good Nintendo games out there, but I didn't see any of your messages after that. If you sent any, doesn't look like they came through on Twitch for me. If you did. Okay, so for some reason Twitch suddenly stopped sending messages after Nintendo message. Let me check real quick to see if your messages were being blocked. But I don't think so. Twitch doesn't like Nintendo. Oh yeah, that's what it was. You said a flagged word. They had to shut you down. It worked when I connected to a VPN. Oh, weird. Yeah, no, I don't think it's like a moderator thing on my side, because I haven't been notified of anything. And too crazy, I see you're still here. You never elaborated on why you were thinking of quitting web dev. And just feeling frustrated? Okay, let's see. Okay, so the image is updated now. Is it just, oh yeah, it's happened, it's in there. So I'll need to still make some changes here. And I think it's just might just need to be shrunk down and moved up a little. There we go. A little bit more. So let's just zero that out. React made me mad. I can't even learn it because I can't even set it up properly. Oh. Are you following a tutorial or something? How long have you been trying, like, you know, technical dev type stuff for? Ahmed says, I was saying that Nintendo has been and it still is totally absent from the market in my country. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That some countries don't allow certain products from certain companies. Oh, we've heard we got a meow from Zelda. She is feeling like she deserves pets. She hasn't had them in a while. I only enjoy back end. Interesting. That's funny because I'm the other way around. I really only enjoy front end, and back end stuff I've just never really had much interest in doing, really. Okay, so interesting that I have to save this for the update. Blah. It's weird. It's because it's like, how do I? Oh, it's one of those things where the aspect ratio changes it. This is the proper, see, it looks different here than it looks down here. That's not because I have something overridden, is it? No. I might just have to make it a little smaller. And then, you know what? I don't even think it needs to be that much smaller. It just needs to be centered a little better. Why isn't... See, the positioning isn't... Oh, that's the problem. It's not changing the position. Let's see. Why are you the way that you are right now? Revert. Ah, it was overridden. Sneaky, sneaky. We'd allow them. We don't have problems with them. They're just not interested. Weird company. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't, I'm not, I'm not super familiar with what's going on there, but, yeah, no, they're a very strange company. I will admit that. Too Crazy says, I've been interested in messing around with game development, but I can't even set up a C++ project and add the library either. That's interesting. What are you following a tutorial? If not, I would really recommend going on somewhere like udemy.com, where you can get some really cheap courses to pretty much do literally anything. If you haven't heard about Udemy, you should definitely check them out. And I am not paid to say that. I'm not paid to say anything. I have no sponsors. Udemy has taught me a lot. In fact, fun fact, this game started with a Unity tutorial that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. And I think halfway through the tutorial, I was like, I get the idea. And then I started doing my own stuff with it. Yeah, let's see. GLFW and OpenGL. I'm not super familiar with that, but I'm sure that they would have something like that. So here's Udemy. And if we go into my courses here, you can see all the things that I've done. And this specifically was the course that I was doing when I started working on Heredity. I just took it from there. And you can see I only got halfway through, maybe not even. And it was a very Binding of Isaac type game too. Yeah, it just inspired me. It taught me and then it inspired me. And yeah, I got 40% complete with it, but that kind of happens to be how a lot of these courses go, where I never really like completed any of these. I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I get the idea. And then I let it go from there. My PC sucks so much. I can't even get things like Unity, but I also don't think I want to use Godot. Yeah. And to be honest, I'm not too familiar with Godot. I've heard good things about it in terms of, people, because it's all like open source, right? So, it can't, it has, I guess the theory is it has less opportunity to be anti-consumer or anti-dev. But in terms of the actual engine and using it, I've never used it. Um, Zelda's reaching for my Chinese food. GLFW. Well, I guess I was wrong. That just linked to a bunch of just no. Okay, here we go. it auto corrected for me to glow. Yeah, here you go. OpenGL. And you know, $16, $15. But yeah, I get the challenge though of what you're saying, where if your computer can't handle it, then yeah, that's an unfortunate challenge. There's also a lot of educational tools that you can probably even get on your phone too that could at least help you learn stuff in the meantime. I know there are apps that to teach you tech stuff have really come a long way over the years. Oh, Zelda, you're so goofy. Can I help you, Zelda? She acts like she's starved of attention all the time. The most needy cat I've ever met. Okay. Let's take a look at how this looks now. You know, you might just, I mean, I don't know what kind of PC you have, but I don't know, maybe check out like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something. You might find some good deals on used tech that is maybe better than what you have. I mean, you know, it still costs money, obviously, but I don't know. I wouldn't let something like that prevent you from doing something that you want to do and learn. It just might take a little longer to get there, right? Like, you know, when I was a teen, I didn't have a computer. There was only one computer in the house, and it was in my parents' bedroom, and I had to like convince them to let me use it sometimes. And it wasn't even until college that I think I ended up getting my own at some point, and it wasn't even like, I don't even think it was first year of college either. Yeah, I don't think I had my own computer until I was like 20, and I just had to like kind of make do in the meantime. Okay, that works. Windows 11 Pro, but like I think it's not for gaming, it's for office stuff. I need an SSD because I have an HDD and a new GPU. Yeah, yeah, I mean, if you're doing OpenGL stuff, then that, you know, that probably is something you need a decent GPU for. Okay, cool. That's weird how when I pause, it actually takes the icon away. It's not a huge issue, but that is a weird thing. It is a bug of some kind. Alright, so we just did another thing. We've updated the controller guide to say abilities are locked. Perfect. Okay, prevent weapon swapping before tutorial. Oh, what I was just doing, in fact. Alright, we can do that next. Just looking at Zelda in the camera, just staring at me. I need to... She just flops over. Yeah, I need to get this so... I need to like tweak this camera right there. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of There we go. Look at this closer. There we go. Okay. That looks better. I'm going to move her a little too. Okay. That way I can center myself too, and she doesn't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about her tearing my sleeve off. Okay, preventing weapon swaps. This is an interesting one because I don't think we have a script for this yet. And therefore, I am going to check it in my changes. Okay, so what did we do? That. 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 And that. All right, checking that in. All set. Okay, cool. So this is gonna definitely need a new script. So I don't believe I have a way to do this right now. So we have a feedback here, which actually let me just realize my screen's probably a little too small. I'm gonna bump up the zoom. There we go. It's a little better. So we have a feedback here, which is a series of events that happen when the scene begins. And right off the bat, we have this. We do have a script somewhere that says, here we go. Locking attacks, locking shield, locking mobility, and locking siphon. Okay, so we want to edit this script. So you're such a silly kitty. All right. So I do think that maybe this won't be too hard to do. What we'll probably do, character ability type. Here we go. I'm going to make a new one, call it swap right arm. Swap left arm. There we go. And then we need to go back into our script here and then handle that. So we have a function called lock ability type, and here is where we have a switch statement with actually I wonder if do I need to bolt? I don't even know. I was gonna say, do I really need to lock them individually, or should I just lock weapon swapping? I feel like, I don't know. I'm just going to make it one thing. Swap arms. I'll do it that way. And then in here, We only have one additional case. And it's this. And now we say, so here we have this movement lock ability, but that's not what we want to do. This is a very corner case thing, because the swapping is a script that I don't even know characters aware of. It's not. So we're gonna have to look at the Hoarder Limb Swapper. That's the class where we're going to allow this. It's kind of, it started out as like a debugging mechanism of my game, but the more I get into it, the more I think I'm actually going to make it a real function that the player should be able to do at some point. So I'm going to put this here and just call it Hoarder Limb Swapper, and that's what it'll be for now. But at some point we'll probably even make this a function of the ability itself, or the limb itself. I don't know. So here we're gonna reference it there, and now we basically need to implement this lock ability function. Yeah, I feel like this is getting kind of corner casey. But so we have this managed bool, which is, it's going to allow us to set a lock and have multiple things set that lock, and when one of those things undoes the lock, it doesn't undo it for everyone. And so next we want this function to be in here. So we're going to add this lock ability function, and from there we are telling the lock to lock. And so I believe all that we have to do now then is somewhere in the update here, we're just going to say if lock value. So if we're locked, then just return. So it's really not even a swap arms, it's a swap limbs. So maybe I should change it to that. There we go. Okay, I think we are all set now. So I'm gonna test this out, but first we need to configure it. So I believe we can just duplicate. Then here we'll say lock swap limbs. Cool. Lock ability. All right. So I would expect now that when I start this scene up, I will not be able to do what I was doing before. Hey, that works. Awesome. I love it. You gotta love when something works the first time. So now we need to go into the second scene and unlock them when the time is right. So that's in prologue 2. No, it is in prologue 1.5. I gotta figure out a way to name these scenes better. And then in here we have a scripted event enter scene. And we're gonna duplicate the locking mobility. And we're gonna make sure that it's locking the swapping of the limbs. And then shortly after, where we do the swap weapon tutorial, we're going to unlock them. Okay. So this might be a little tricky to test in this level because I don't think you could even do it before we hit the tutorial, because I think the tutorial happens like immediately. So we might have to play the first level first and then go into the second level and then ensure it unlocks. Oh, this is weird. We hit a null reference on something. I wonder if it was... Oh, yep. Oh. 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 That's very... Okay. So... I understand why it's not working, but it's interesting because it's... Now I'm confused about why it worked before. Because we did create a new... Created a new field for the limb swapper. And we never attached it. And to be completely honest, I don't know where the limb swapper is. It might only be on the player prefab. It probably is only on the player prefab here. There, okay. And then on Auric as well. Boop. There we go. And then that should mean we should also check to see if this is non-null. It's funny, I don't understand why it didn't work before then. Is that because... Yeah, that's so strange. So strange. I had a feeling that when I said that it worked first try, as it was coming out of my mouth, I even thought to myself, this doesn't feel right. Things never work on the first try. Never. Okay. So another problem here. It would seem that arm swapper is looking for something. Doesn't have its particle system. All right. I am going to leave this zone because we don't need to be doing it in the story zone here. Let's just go right to our prefab sandbox where we can do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. Then I just accidentally didn't save there, so I have to make that change over again. But that's okay. Oh, is it because lock doesn't... Oh, okay, okay, now it makes more sense now. Okay. It's because I wasn't setting new on the lock. So I think this should work now. What other things do we have here? This is not something I'll be able to do today. Reword attack tutorial I can do easy. This is what we're doing. Oops. Okay, well, that just screwed everything up. Okay, we didn't get... Okay, cool. We can swap weapons. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a new object. I'm gonna give it a feedback. I'm going to create a character ability set permit character ability. I'm gonna say use player, swap limbs, and lock, and now I'm gonna play it. Boop. So, hey, that worked. All right, now I'm gonna uncheck it and hit play. Awesome. Almost worked first try. Worked second try. Cool. So let me go configure 1.5 again. So I didn't save that, but everything should work now. So on the enter scene, oh, okay, no, it did save. Never mind. Cool. All right, so I'm just gonna start this from the beginning. Okay, this time no exceptions. We're looking good. Oh God. There we go. I was worried it was too far away to get it in time. All right. Still can't swap. That's good. Now here's the real test. All right, I'm swapping, trying to swap, and now I can swap. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. That's it. That does it. So we're going to prevent weapon swapping before tutorial. Done. Yay. All right, this is the one I'm trying to drag down to the bottom because we can't do that. How did this get a date? Why is this being difficult? There we... Okay. Let's do the attack. We're rewording of the attack tutorial. The gamepad, let's actually just turn it on. Where's the gamepad one? There it is. Aim by tilting and holding in any direction. Attacks fire automatically. Okay. That's a bad. Yeah, that's worded poorly. I want to change it to. Where's the text? Why am I struggling so much right now? Okay. I'm going to say hold in any direction to attack continuously. Okay. I think that should work. Now I noticed that it's on 2 lines here, and that does look a little strange. I think we'll want to make that all on 1 line. Hold in any direction to attack continuously. Okay. Where is this? Do I... Okay, I think I can just increase the size. There. And we could probably make the Y a little... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be 0.2. I want this to be 2.5. Oh, I went the wrong direction. 1.5. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, now there was another tutorial that I felt like could have been reworded a little better, and that was the gore tutorial. Walk over and consume the shaking chunks of defeated enemies to prevent them from rebirthing where they died. Okay, that again is just too much. Yeah, that's huge. I want to reword that to something like collect gore chunks. I'm just gonna say collect chunks of defeated enemies to prevent them from respawning. And this is another thing where I feel like we could make this a lot wider and it would look just a lot better. So we're going to say 2 and 8. And honestly, even the height is a little too much. Collect chunks of defeated enemies to prevent them from respawning. Okay, I think that's good. So, just for some context, the reason I'm doing this is because gamers as it is don't like to read at all. So the more words there are, the less likely they're going to read anyways. But even if there is just a few words, they don't want to read those. So if you have more than a few words, they're not going to read it at all. And so all of these tutorials really need to be worded as concisely and clearly as possible. so that they can just glance over it and get the idea and be able to move forward, playing the game how it's intended. Okay. And I think that's going to do it. Now, I'll want to see them in game to know, because especially with, I have the button glyph that appears on the tutorial, so I want to make sure those are all centered properly and spaced properly. You know, they fit the right way. Look at her. Look how precious. Look how precious. Okay. Okay, well, right off the bat, I don't think that's not centered. Okay, so that's one problem. It's not centered, but it looks good. Oops, I ruined that. Oh, interesting. And okay, and then this one looks good. Collect the chunks of defeated enemies. Oh, but with controller, it doesn't look very good. Okay. Okay, there's a couple things we need to do here. So I'm just gonna kill it, and then we can make some changes that we know we need to change. So first of all, let's bring this back. We know that it's off center, and that's because I did 1.5. Okay, so this should be 0.2, 0.8. Can I do 7.5 and 2.5? No, I cannot. So I can do 2 and 8. All right. Now it's centered. It did seem though that there was a little too much space in between the text and the button callout, so I'm going to remove that. And I also noticed that the same was true with the Gore tutorial, where there was one, the glyph was a little too large, so I'm gonna reduce that a bit, and then I'm going to take away the space on either side of it. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. We'll give this a try now, see how it looks. Okay. All right, I think that looks honestly perfect. And that also looks perfect. Collect chunks of defeated enemies to prevent them from respawning. All right. I think it's good. I'm much happier with that than I was with the other ways that they were phrased. I like it. So we've done this. There we go. I guess we could figure out why it's giving the wrong biome when we start from the main menu. That's a very interesting one. I can't tell you. I did recently do some things with the blood fluence, as I call it, and so I'm not surprised it's broken. Hopefully it's not that big of an issue. Because I do believe there's somewhere in here where the zone is telling, here we go, assigning the blood fluence override on start. Now, I wonder if this is because it actually needs to be done in activate zone. Oh, I think I already figured it out. I bet it's because every time we're okay, I do know what this problem is, because we're loading multiple levels and every level is assigning the blood fluence. So even if it's not the level that is active, once it's, because what it is, I load a bunch of zones, so there is a zone eventually that is the Clug blood, and it is the last zone, so that's getting loaded last, and I bet that's calling this when it shouldn't. It should be called an activate zone. And so really, this is what we must do. I bet this is it. I bet. We'll see. Let's make sure there's but there's okay. And that explains why restart was doing it too, because restart was triggering that path of logic. I hope I've gotten really lucky with figuring out what the problem is here, because it does make sense to me. Okay, here we go. Let's click it and cross our fingers. Hey, there it is. Cool. All right, and I am gonna just do a quick restart. Hey. All right, we're good. We're good. Another task off the list. That was an easy one. I thought that was going to be a difficult one, and it ended up being easy. Yay. Fix bug in fourth zone where it doesn't move after dialogue. See, this is a really interesting one, and I don't know. Might as well try to tackle it. Also try to replace the song. That should be easy. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do all these tonight. I'm happy with the amount that we've already done more than half of these. Second zone force. This one's gonna be a little challenging and doesn't necessarily have to happen. I mean, none of these have to happen, right? Because I'm improving a demo that I've already showcased to hundreds of people, and it did just fine. It's really just trying to improve things. And while at the same time not creating more bugs, or, you know, creating issues that are going to make it worse than the demo I already showcased. Yeah, because the boss falling through the world, that happened like 3 times, and I don't know what causes it. I think it's just something about it when it just clips through the ground in some way. I never got to see it happen. I only got told about it when the boss was already gone, because why would I have known, right? And so the people would just be like, hey, where's the boss? And I look, and the boss wasn't there. And so I don't know what they were doing. And I asked, I think it only happened, there's just 2, maybe 3 times. Because I remember, I know at least 2 times, not more than 3 times that this happened. And so I probably will just fix that with a script that checks the Y value of the boss. And if it's below a certain value, it just resets his position in the zone. And that will like cover me. Yeah. And I wonder if I could probably even, yeah. Because a part of me is wondering, so one thing about the boss battle is the knockback, and I've been aware of this, and I just hoped nobody would do it. And so I'm hoping nobody was, because I was asking people, well, how did that happen? And no one was admitting to me any particular behavior. But there is this one part of this one thing about the boss battle where the knockback on the lasers can push him out of the entrance of the level. And if you do it enough, you can push him quite far. And you can theoretically push him off of the collider of the ground, I would think. I have to test this, because I wonder if they were doing that, and then when I asked, they were like, oh, I don't know, I wasn't doing anything. But like but the reality is that they were like shooting him off the map, which, like I said, is totally something you can do. I've been aware of it, I just didn't feel like fixing it. So actually, let me move him there. Okay, cool. I have to get rid of these guys. Yep, just like this. So you push him like this. See, the thing is by the time he gets far out, he's already halfway into stage 2. I don't think you could, it's like, the problem is you're damaging him, so that's probably not what it was. And anyways, I'm pretty sure my levels are boxed in the sense that where the ground ends, there's a wall. So I don't even believe that my theory that I'm trying to disprove right now is even possible. Yeah, right here. Here we go. Yeah, there's no way. Because basically, and that's probably as far as he got. Anyways, when I was shooting him, where there is this wall that will prevent them from going. Oh, wait, actually, hold up. Nope. There is a hole in this wall. Ah, maybe this isn't. And it's the north wall too. Interesting. So let's take a look at this a little. Oh, wow. There actually is a hole here that they could have done that. Ah, I wonder. Very interesting, because here, if it was the south wall, which they wouldn't even be able to see anyways, because we're always facing that direction. The other thing is what is the So yeah. I wonder. That honestly could be it, because yeah, there's this space here. This is definitely not intended. This is a mistake. Yep, 60. That's supposed to be a 50. Boom. There it is. Okay, that was supposed to. Okay, so that is. I mean, I shouldn't even be letting someone do what I was just doing, right? Like, I should fix that the right way. However, this here is a problem that's like completely bypassing the whole point of what I'm even doing here. So there's no harm in sealing this up for good. And now it is. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's an issue that's probably been in existence for a long time. Oh, interesting. And the south one is pushed forward 10 pixels. That's a 40. That should be 50. Yeah. Again, not really needed, but it is strange how the north and south got shifted 10 units. Well, either way, I wonder if that was really it. Because it's concerning if that wasn't it, right? Because and in fact, I almost still want to like prove that that was it in some way. Well, it's concerning anyways, right? Because we basically have the possibility that something can fall through the ground, which shouldn't ever happen. It means a collider. There's a few things, right? There's possibly, so like when you're killing enemies, are they creating? So there was this problem before of like gore chunks that were sitting on top of the blood siphon collider because it can't be a trigger. And so that was actually creating this platform where they were standing, and I had to fix that. But I don't think that would have. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what could possibly clip the boss through the ground. I've never seen anything go through the ground ever. That hole though, and if they were using the knockback to push him to that hole, that's very, very possible. But both people I remember asking, like, what did you do? And they were like, I don't know. He just fell through the ground. I wonder. Well, actually, no. Well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I was only able to ask one of those people because the other guy that it happened to be deaf. So I wasn't really able to like talk to him. Yeah, I'm just remembering that now. The second time the guy who's playing was deaf. And like I just had to be like, oh, like sorry. And he had like a girlfriend or something with him that was like, she just said, oh yeah, the guy fell through the floor. And so I was like, what can I don't know. So yeah, I guess I really only tried to ask one person, I think. I don't know. Such a weird. The other thing is like maybe like shooting him into a corner. I'm actually gonna do something here. I really want to play with this guy. So I'm gonna do some things. I'm gonna make him invincible, and I'm gonna make it so he can't spawn enemies. Oh no, I'm gonna make myself I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's just get past here and wait for him to spawn. All right, so I believe if I hit delete, yep, they disappear. Okay, good. And now let's find him. There he is. Let's find his health and make him immune to damage. All right. Next, I'm going to go and find my own character. I'm going to do the same thing. Immune to damage. Next, I'm going to push that boundary out again because I might try to do that. I might try to just see what happens. But overall, I just want to be able to attack him a bunch of times. Especially like into a corner like this. No. Alright, come on over here. Alright, let's try to do this one. So I think when he gets knocked out of bounds too, I'm not sure, but oh no, he can move. Okay, no, I don't think it's possible really. Oh, nope, there he goes. He's gone. Okay, so it is possible, but like there's no way they could have done that much knockback on him without killing him or triggering his second phase. But that is strange. So I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna bring him back to the mortal realm of above sea level. Where is he? There you go. Okay, so okay, he's back now. Either way, I mean, unless I can truly be confident in what's causing this, which I don't know if I can. I mean, there's a couple problems here, right? I shouldn't be able to do what I just did right there. At all. In fact, why is he allowed to do that? Now that I think about it. Like, how is that just because? Let's see. So there is a collider on the passage that prevents me from going through it. There's also, okay, so let's look at this collider here. Ground. Default. Where's the passages? Zone edges. Oh, here we go. Passage, boundary, closed boundary. Oh, it's a layer type of boundary. Oh, that's another thing. These here aren't on the layer of boundary, so that could be a problem. But what are the... I actually wonder if I should make these... Oh, you know what? Boundary should stop characters, but it doesn't stop projectiles. That's the difference between that and walls. Okay, so that, I think then there's probably just a setting somewhere here that's... Okay, here's boundary. Player. Okay, this right here, non-player character is unchecked. I can't think of any reason that this shouldn't also be checked. So I'm going to stop this whole battle I'm going to check that. And then we should never have this problem again. However, there is one very specific thing I have in mind, and it's in this scene, and that's when Grail is walking backwards during dialogue through the closing passage. So I'm wondering if that's actually going to have some side effects. It's the only place in the game that I can actually think that there might be some side effects to this. So he's in there right now. Okay, opens up. And okay, that was good. Okay, so I think already there's not going to be a problem because it would have happened there. All right, let's get past this. And then, okay, no, that's fine. All right, we're gonna delete those characters. Okay, and let's see if we can, there we go. Okay, cool, we can't get him out there anymore. All right, perfect, awesome. Should have done that a long time ago. That was so easy. I'm probably still, for good measure, going to have a script that detects the Y, and if it goes below a certain threshold, like, I don't know, -10, right? Because like we don't want it to like be like fluky in some way. So like, you know, he's falling basically. Okay, set him to drop down from the center of the map again, like that location. Okay, cool. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with all of these solutions here. There's one other thing I want to do too, though, and that is I'm going to set the outside boundary as something other than default. I don't think, I'm trying to think, can we move? Oh, I mean, okay, I can look at this actually. Default, player and non-player. Ah, see, here's the other thing. Even though I fixed that gap, default still non-player can still move through default. Another thing that I'm not sure if why that is. However, it's good enough to know that, yeah, why would honestly, I'm just going to check that because I think that's not something that's supposed to be the case. I'm worried though. I don't want to do something weird. I don't want to. So no, I'm not going to do that now. I don't, like I said, I don't want to cause any kind of consequences to things that I'm not fully aware of and ready to make before a convention like this. So what I am going to do instead, I mean, I don't even really need to do this anymore, but I'm going to change these boundaries here to the actual boundary layer. And now they'll act like the boundary we just set up. So, but theoretically, they should never get out that far, right? Especially now that I just closed the passages off. Now, if the passage was open, that still wouldn't be the case. But I do believe that passages, the open boundary, or the open passage still has a boundary at the back. Yes. Okay. So we still would never be able to leave. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Cool. So let's do that script. Why not? All right. I'm just gonna say, I don't even know where to put this. Just gonna make a utility script. This is super clunky. Let's see. Actually, no, it's gonna be a character script because it's gonna have to do with characters. Character utility. Okay, this is a good place. Reset. Actually, you know what? No. I don't even know if this really needs to be a unique script. Instead, what I think I'm gonna do is make this a part of the character script. Yeah, and I'm gonna call this check out of bound. And we're gonna say if transform.position.y is less than, I'm gonna say -50, because if they're falling, it'll get there fast, right? And then we're gonna say move to, oh wait, hold on a second. I think the move B star move to, we don't want A star move to, we want set, man. Oh, I think this is actually a controller thing to move somewhere. How do we do this? There is a manager somewhere which handles the player, oh wait, player character manager, move player character, position at, that's what it's called, position at, and it's a part of the character function. Okay, here's the thing, we can't, wait, can position at be, no it can't. Oh, and then it uses the controller to do a move position, but it has to hold up the A star. Okay, so every frame, all right. It's kind of a bummer we have to do this, but not that big of a deal. We're going to override the every frame. Okay, that's weird. And then we're gonna call the base. Then we're gonna call check out of bounds. And if we are out of bounds, then we say position at a new vector, and I'm just gonna put it at 1, 10, or no, 0, 10, 0. And so it'll be like a little bit up in the sky in the center of the map, I guess. Wait, what's the location and facing direction? Say down. Okay. So we can test this pretty easily, and this is, I don't need to update any characters now. This is free now as a character. So everything that can possibly go through the ground will now be reset. Do have a couple, I have one issue here. It's not recognizing my check out of bounds. Oh, because I removed it. That's right. Okay. Good now. All right. Let's start up. Oh, wait, it's already... Oh, it's already complaining, thinking we're trying to do that. Null reference. What am I null referencing? Possibly. We might already have a problem here. Oh, duh. Hold up. I put greater than -50. We wanted less than -50. What a rookie noob mistake I just made. How embarrassing. Even Zelda is cringing at me. Look at her. Judging me in her sleep. Okay. Now the only thing I'm kind of concerned about is that the origin being the origin, because I think the origin's actually always off to the side a little bit. So, oh, wait, here I'm gonna delete the ads. I'm gonna pause real quick. And then I'm going to put him through the ground just a tiny bit. Enough for him to free fall. Let's see what happens. Okay, and then he got dropped right there. Okay, and like I said, the 000 is off to the side. Okay, so... Yeah, and he just drops right back down, and that's still 0 is always still within the bounds of the level. I mean, honestly, maybe I would even put it at like 20, because I think even in the most slim zones that would still work. Maybe 10. But either way, I'm happy with everything that I've done here to fix this problem. Honestly, even the 50's excessive. Let's call that 10 as well. And that way, when it happens, it just instantly resets them. Oh, we got the other one. All right, we'll just give it another quick test, but I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, we got one coming up. Oh, there she is. Both of the big ones here. Okay. All right, let's get through this. But either way, I am pretty sure this is all very good. All doing what we needed to do. Just wanted to test it out one more time. All right, delete them, and then I'm gonna just them through just a little. All right, and he's instantly back in. Okay, I'm completely happy with this, because it's not really, it wasn't the fact that someone at the showcase experienced a bug. You know what I mean? Bugs happen, and I know that if a bug happens while someone's playing my game at a live event, they're gonna understand, oh, it's just a bug, right? The problem was the bug was just a game over for them, right? You can't kill the boss because he's falling into space under the level indefinitely forever. So they just had to walk away, and it's such a bummer because at this point this means they've already spent 5 minutes playing the demo or more, and so that means they were enjoying it and they wanted to be playing it, and then suddenly they can't finish the demo. You know, so, and they're not going to do it all over again, you know, because one, they probably don't want to, and two, there's usually a line, and they probably feel, you know, they don't want to like restart the demo when there's people behind them waiting. So it was just like it was a really unfortunate bug. It's the same thing with the next bug, actually, in the next zone, where people were getting stuck, and actually that's something I need to do as well. I need to figure out as well how to fix. So I'm going to do that now. Actually, I'm going to trigger this battle over, and don't know what's causing it, but I'm going to hold the stick because I imagine people were probably holding the movement stick, but there's something about this area here that sometimes the character was getting stuck before the dialogue. Nope, and I don't know how they were doing it, and that didn't do it. And the thing is I don't know if it's something that I can trigger in the zone itself. Let me take a look. Well, yeah, well, hold on. Before we do that, let's click the box falls through world. Bing. We've done it. Let's take a look at the logic for prologue 3, because that's the one where this happens, and maybe we can even look at this and understand what could possibly be happening. So what happens is, here's our series of events. The first thing we do is we lock all character input. So that's the interesting thing, right? From the very beginning, first frame of the zone, they shouldn't have any kind of input at all. So anything that they do on the controller shouldn't be changing anything. And now that might be the case. It might be that they're not doing anything. This is just a race condition in which, you know, something's not happening the way it's supposed to. And I mean, those are the scariest bugs too, right? And then we play scripted music. We fade into the zone. So yep, there's just no input. We set the camera. We toggle the UI, so because it's just a cinematic sequence. We open all the passages, which is an interesting thing to do. I guess we have to do that. And we move the character from spawn, or wherever they are spawning into the level, to where they need to go, which is there, which is, oh, we instantly move him here, and then instantly move him there. Oh, okay, no, we haven't faded out yet. Okay, and now we fade into the level. We set the camera. Player character is not target. Okay, so this makes it so the Divoid doesn't attack him. And then we tell him to move here, and we tell the Divoid to move there. Okay. Now let's take a look at this A path destination. We say to auto release the character. I don't think we need to do that. I'm going to uncheck that because that could be causing. That could honestly, that alone could be causing the issue, because what we're basically saying is our A star is no longer controlling the character, but we have no input. So that could be why maybe in the next time it needs to move, but it's still so weird because it's not happening every time, right? But I am going to uncheck that just to see, I don't know what happens. But based on this logic here, I don't think we would need to be holding anything or doing any kind of input as we load into the zone, because literally the first frame we're preventing input. Who knows, maybe something before this in the first frame is causing something weird to happen, but I don't think that makes sense. I think it maybe makes more sense. Yeah, we have to go a little further here. So Divoid moves forward. This happens after the dialogue ends. So we tell the Divoid to move to the stopping. Oh, wait. Starting location, stopping location. Divoid moves forward. Stopping location. I'm confused. Dialogue. Oh. Hold up. Oh, okay. This never gets used. Never mind. So Divoid convo. When the Divoid gets into position, we pop that last cinematic camera off, and then we go and we zoom in a little bit, and then we start the dialogue. Right. Okay. Yeah. Because some of this is a little confusing. This dialogue doesn't happen, I guess. Some of this stuff is a little unorganized. We start dialogue and then we toggle the UI, which I thought we already did. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. So dialogue happens and then, okay, here we go. Leave zone. So when the dialogue ends, we set the A star path of the Divoid to leave. That's fine. And then we wait 3.5 seconds. We pop the camera off and then we set, here we go, the A star path of the player to the stopping, to here. And then once he gets there, then we tell him to go to here. Oh, it's a 2-step process. Interesting. I'm wondering if something's happening. I can't remember if it's in that phase or if they don't move during the first phase or the second phase. Interesting. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm noticing nothing here is saying to auto release the character. So like, I'm wondering if that's it, honestly. We can also look at I could try to crank the speed of this Divoid and just try to do this. Okay, well, doing that didn't break anything. Okay, so that's good enough. All right. What now? I just want to take a look at this set A star path destination because this is the script that's failing. So why would this not do what it's supposed to do? Well, if active, if it's unactive or transform is null, which shouldn't ever be the case, use player character. So this would be true. We'd get the character. There should be no problem getting the character. Then we say A star move player. Okay, so here is where we might. Okay, so player has to be non-null. That shouldn't be a problem. A star path enabled, clear. Halt and then set destination. No, I don't see any logic here that would prevent an instruction to move the player not from happening. I don't see anything. I'm not sure why this would be happening. Now the other thing is an exception happens, and then just everything backs out, right? Well, okay, so we set the destination, but maybe an update. Okay, let's see this. Script driven input. That's set to true. So this would be true, but reach destination. I wonder if this is something where it's like the guy never reaches his destination, maybe? Reach destination. Yeah, I mean, this is so complicated now. I wish I could reproduce the issue. And I don't know how many times restarting it would take. I could, oh man. Because there's like no... What if I just boosted the divoid speed a ton and I put this back to auto release? So as it were, I don't know. The thing is when I restart, it's going to try to restart to, if I hit restart, it's going to restart to the beginning of the demo, not the beginning of the scene. So it's not like, yeah, I really have no idea what would be causing this problem. And he's not moving very fast either. Yeah, there's really no way of knowing. So I'm going to undo the things I just did, and I'm going to just, I don't know. There's not, I don't know how to fix it. I did the wrong one before. That's why it didn't work, but oh well. Yeah, I'm just gonna mark it done. What can I do? Undoing, I mean, maybe the the auto release was a little suspicious. Yeah, let's take a look at the auto release and like what that does. Oh. So this would be true. So because this was true, we did a clear path. We undid all of this stuff here. And we did a free player. I mean, none of that stuff should, I mean, yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. It doesn't make sense because it's not, nothing's going to pop out at me because this isn't an issue that happens every time. It's an issue that happens like it happened 2 out of 600 times. So what can I do other than play the game, play this level 1,000 times and hope it happens to me too? But then it's again, like, were they doing something on the controller? Were they holding anything? Were they pressing something? Like, I don't know. They shouldn't have been able to do anything. Yeah. I don't know. I just remembered the replacing song thing might be a little tricky just because we have different layers to that now. So I don't even know if I'll get to that in time. Raising the camera up, we could try some of that stuff another time. And the second zone force weapon change, that would be fun to do, but that is also kind of a lot in that. You know what it is though? I think I've been streaming for 3 hours. We usually do the 3 hours with game dev. I'm just time do I have to be up in the morning? Let's see. I have to be up at 9 o'clock. Just giving me 2 hours. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna end stream now. And tomorrow I'm going to finish this stuff up on stream, and then we're gonna do the next Silent Hill F stream because I am really enjoying Silent Hill F. I did want to really continue it tonight, but my sleep schedule's been kind of screwed up lately, and it's already 11 p.m. So I think it is just a good time to call it quits and not continue to ruin my life by staying up until the wee hours of the morning. And yeah, no, we'll do it tomorrow. And that'll be fun. Cool. All right, friends. Thank you very much for hanging out. We had a few of you chatting and you know, that always makes stream fun for me and fun for everyone. So thank you very much for hanging out. Thanks for those who followed me. We had Yilia and Ahmed both follow me. Thank you very much. And thank you for chatting. Also, Too Crazy, thanks for hanging out as well. And Yami, thanks for the cat pets. All right, guys, I'm heading out. Have a good night. Hey, we got one more coming through. Midith 316, thank you very much for the follow and welcome to the channel. I don't know how long you've been hanging out for or if you just came in, but you know, I do game dev. I've been making this game for a while, and I also do some let's plays here and there, but as you probably just heard me say, I am on my way out. But thank you very much for that follow. It really means a lot, and I'll be